There are places in the world that make it hard to believe they were built long before technology existed. Massive stones were fitted together with unbelievable precision, far beyond what we usually assume ancient civilizations could achieve. Many of these sites still have no clear explanation for how people in the past moved and constructed them. These mysteries make history feel even more puzzling and push us to keep searching for answers. Join us as we explore these impossible ancient sites, places where the past leaves behind questions that remain unsolved. Petra, originally called Rakhmu, is a famous ancient city and archaeological site located in southern Jordan, nestled within the semi-desert mountains. The site is globally renowned for its rock-cut architecture, meaning the Nabateans directly carved and sculpted structures like temples, tombs, and facades into the surrounding sandstone cliffs. Petra was voted one of the 7 new wonders of the world and is recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. Beyond its unique architecture, the city is famous for its very sophisticated water management system, including reservoirs and channels for rainwater, which allowed residents to thrive in an arid environment. The most famous structure, Al-Kazner, the so-called treasury, is actually not a vault for gold, but is believed to be a mausoleum for Nabatean royalty or high officials. Remarkably, it is estimated that about 85% of Petra's area still lies underground or buried in sand and has not been fully excavated. A massive earthquake in 363 AD severely damaged many of Petra's structures, causing the city to decline in importance and its residents to leave. Chisar Castle stands as a gigantic volcanic rock formation, entirely carved to create a multi-story castle, complete with dwellings, churches, storerooms, and stables. This remarkable honeycomb structure encompasses hundreds of rooms, intricate corridors, and carved stone staircases, all fashioned with ancient tools by builders whose origins are not specifically documented. Today, numerous doorways and chambers within the castle remain sealed, possibly concealing ancient relics, treasures, or secrets yet to be accessed. Furthermore, the numerous pigeon houses carved directly into the rock may hold ritualistic or spiritual significance beyond their practical economic role. The Nazca lines lie across the Nazca Desert, spanning approximately 175 square miles, with hundreds of large and small figures created between 500 BCE and 500 CE. These drawings were formed by removing the reddish-brown gravel layer, exposing the lighter soil beneath, and creating shallow trenches ranging from 4 to 12 inches deep. Some straight lines extend for miles, and animal figures reach over 650 feet in length, all executed with astonishing precision, despite the ancient Nazca people lacking modern surveying tools. Many of these figures are only fully recognizable when viewed from above, which further highlights their design skills. Certain figures overlap one another, indicating they were created during different historical periods, which adds to the overall complexity of these ancient geoglyphs. Despite their shallow depth of only a few inches, the desert's extremely arid and stable climatic conditions have preserved these monumental designs for over 1,500 years. Karahan Tepe is an ancient site estimated to be between 11,000 and 11,500 years old, potentially predating the Egyptian pyramids by millennia. The site features hundreds of T-shaped stone pillars, each standing 7 to 10 feet tall, with many embedded directly into the bedrock and organized into ritual spaces. Within specific areas, known as the Pillar Forest and the Head Building, numerous human heads are found, either carved or individually sculpted from stone. Karahan Tepe shows no indications of being a residential settlement, instead functioning as a complex ritual center where hunter-gatherer groups gathered for elaborate ceremonies. Finally, evidence suggests Karahan Tepe was intentionally buried under earth and stone after an extended period of use, a practice also observed at ancient sites like Göbekli Tepe. Chand Baori features approximately 3,500 perfectly symmetrical steps, arranged in an intricate zigzag geometric pattern across 13 levels. The well reaches a depth of about 98 feet, establishing it as one of the world's deepest and largest stepwells. This structure naturally cools the air, maintaining temperatures at its base an average of 9 to 11 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than the surface, providing a natural air conditioning effect in the Rajasthan desert. King Chanda of the Nikumba dynasty built Chand Bauri during the 8th or 9th century, dedicating it to the goddess Harshat Mata and designing it to store water during arid seasons. Its ancient architecture endures for hundreds of years and through numerous earthquakes, even without the benefit of modern reinforcement techniques. No detailed records exist concerning its construction process, the tools utilized, or the building teams, contributing to its status as an archaeological mystery. Mount Nemrut, standing over 7,000 feet high, features a remarkable artificial tumulus 164 feet tall and nearly 500 feet in diameter. This massive mound, composed of millions of stone chips, is believed to conceal the undiscovered tomb of King Antiochus I. On the east terrace, colossal statues of deities, 26 to 30 feet tall, have detached heads scattered on the ground, their separation attributed to unknown causes such as natural disaster, vandalism, or ancient ritual. Constructing these large stone figures and the tumulus at such an elevation in the 1st century BCE represents an engineering feat still not fully explained, especially since some stones are not indigenous to the mountain and were transported by unknown methods. The astronomical lion relief on the west terrace depicts Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, stars, and a crescent moon, suggesting an ancient astronomical chart that remains undeciphered. Current research explores the hypothesis that the entire Mount Nemrut complex is arranged according to astronomical phenomena like solstices or constellations. The Aramumuru portal is a stone structure carved directly into a solid red sandstone cliff, measuring approximately 23 feet high and 23 feet wide. At its center lies a small, inverted T-shaped or rectangular niche, about 6.5 feet by 6.5 feet, which surprisingly leads nowhere. There are no tool marks, signs of settlement, or explanatory texts to indicate the creators or the age of this enigmatic construction. According to Aymara tradition, this is a sacred gateway used by gods or wise men to pass between different worlds. An Inca legend further recounts that a priest named Amarumuru used a sacred golden disc to open the portal and vanish, escaping the Spanish. The area around Aramumuru is also said to possess a strong energy field, where some individuals report strange sounds and altered states of consciousness. Cenotes in Mexico are natural sinkholes formed by the collapse of limestone caves, which reveal freshwater lakes hidden beneath the surface. Their creation began thousands to millions of years ago through complex geological processes as acid rain gradually reacted with the region's prevalent limestone. The Yucatan Peninsula alone contains over 6,000 discovered cenotes, many of which remain largely unexplored and connect through extensive underground cave systems stretching hundreds of miles. Some of these cenotes contain both fresh and salt water, creating a distinct halocline where the two layers meet, appearing as an eerie, misty boundary underwater. Ancient Mayan civilizations utilized cenotes as sacred sites for worship and offerings to their deities, evidenced by the numerous artifacts, precious metals, and even human remains discovered within their depths. Myra stands out for its elaborate Lycian rock-cut tombs, meticulously carved into vertical cliffs and crafted to mimic timber house architecture from solid stone. The precise techniques used to create these elaborate high-altitude cliff tombs, maintaining remarkable accuracy, remain incompletely understood by modern archaeology. Inscriptions on these tombstones bear the Lycian language, which is still not fully deciphered, thus hiding extensive cultural insights. Adding to the enigma, some tombs incorporate false doors that are purely symbolic and do not open to an interior, prompting unresolved religious theories. Myra also features a grand Roman theatre, which stands as one of the largest and most well-preserved in the Lycian region, designed to accommodate thousands of spectators. Furthermore, the Lycians might have oriented their structures according to celestial events, suggesting a sophisticated ancient astronomical knowledge that was ahead of its time. The Giant of Tarapaca is a geoglyph considered the world's largest prehistoric human-made figure, measuring approximately 282 feet long. This figure depicts a human with a square head, two pointed protuberances, and arms holding an object resembling a staff or an arrow. The geoglyph was created by removing darker earth and rocks or by arranging multicolored stones, making the image clear when viewed from a distance or from above. Scientists estimate the work was created between 1000 and 1400 AD by indigenous cultures such as the Aymara or those related to Tiwanaku. The large-scale geometric precision of the geoglyph suggests ancient peoples possessed advanced, undeciphered knowledge of planning and measurement. The geoglyph remains intact for centuries, despite its location in the harsh Atacama Desert, indicating special natural preservation techniques. Abuna Yamatagu is carved directly into a sheer sandstone cliff at an elevation of approximately 8,465 feet above sea level, and the entire church is hewn from a single monolithic rock. Reaching this church requires climbing steep, almost vertical rock faces, often barefoot, and traversing chasms hundreds of feet deep without safety ropes. With its age estimated to the 5th or 6th century, Abuna Yamatagu stands as one of the oldest Christian churches in the world. To this day, no records or technical drawings exist to explain how this structure was built into such an almost inaccessible cliff face. Krishna's Butterball is a granite boulder weighing over 250 tons, situated on a 45-degree slope in Mahabalipuram, India. This boulder stands about 20 feet high and 16 feet wide, yet it balances on a very small contact area with the ground. This stone has remained stable for millennia without any artificial support structures. In the 7th century, King Narasimhavarman II attempted to move the boulder using a team of elephants, but he ultimately failed. Later, in 1908, the governor of Madras also tried to dislodge it with 7 elephants, again without success. Mahabalipuram is renowned for its monolithic rock architecture, where structures are carved directly from a single granite block without assembly. Among its masterpieces, the Descent of the Ganges relief is a colossal rock sculpture displaying hundreds of finely carved mythical figures. The site is also closely associated with the legend of the 7 pagodas, which recounts 7 temples once stretched along the coastline, though today only one, the Shore Temple, still stands. The 2004 tsunami inadvertently exposed submerged rock structures offshore Mahabalipuram, partially confirming the existence of these legendary constructions. Yet many monolithic structures here show clear signs of incompletion, with carving marks abruptly stopping for unknown reasons. Furthermore, some large stone blocks were crafted and positioned with high precision, posing a mystery regarding how ancient builders accomplished this without modern tools. Belchite, a ghost town in the province of Zaragoza, Spain, was completely destroyed during the Battle of Belchite in 1937, part of the Spanish Civil War. Following the war, the Franco regime ordered a new town built nearby while preserving Old Belchite as an unrestored monument, a living symbol of the devastation. The structures of Old Belchite remain in their ruined state, creating a static landscape seemingly frozen in time. At this site, many electronic devices exhibit unusual malfunctions. Batteries drain quickly, audio recordings contain interference, and cameras capture strange images. Supernatural researchers have recorded numerous electronic voice phenomena, or EVPs, which are whispers imperceptible to the unaided ear, and some visitors also report feelings of time distortion. Ollantaytambo, built in the mid-15th century by Inca Emperor Pachacuti, served as a royal estate, religious and military center. Its inward-sloping walls and the absolute interlocking of its stone blocks allowed the structure to withstand many earthquakes over centuries. Specifically, 6 pink wheelite blocks at the Temple of the Sun are fitted together without mortar with such precision that a razor blade cannot pass through, a technique still unexplained by Inca technology. These blocks, weighing tens to hundreds of tons, were transported several miles from the Cachicata quarry, over mountain slopes and a river, despite the Incas having neither wheels nor draft animals. Furthermore, Ollantaytambo's ancient water canal system remains operational today, with some points creating acoustic effects, suggesting an understanding of acoustics for ritual purposes. The Uffington White Horse is a colossal geoglyph, approximately 360 feet long, carved into a hillside by cutting deep trenches and filling them with white chalk. Its age dates back about 3,000 years, placing it in the late Bronze or early Iron Age, making it one of the oldest geoglyphs in the world. Its shape is highly abstract, featuring a bird-like head, a slender body, and disproportionate limbs, which differs significantly from a realistic horse. The figure was designed to be seen best from a distance or from above, even though, at the time of its creation, humans lacked the capability for aerial observation. The creation of such a colossal balanced shape on a sloping terrain without modern visual tools represents an unsolved engineering feat. The Uffington White Horse has endured for 3 millennia due to periodic scouring rituals, which were conducted as part of communal ceremonies from ancient times. Masada Fortress stands atop a rocky mesa, approximately 1,480 feet above the Dead Sea, encircled by sheer cliffs that form a nearly impenetrable stronghold. A system of 12 massive cisterns carved deep into Masada's rock face could store millions of gallons of rainwater from flash floods, proving highly effective in the arid desert environment. The Roman army constructed a colossal ramp of earth and stone to access Masada, a military engineering feat that enabled siege engines and soldiers to reach the summit. During the siege of 72 to 73 CE, nearly 960 Jewish inhabitants at Masada reportedly committed mass suicide to avoid capture by the Roman forces. Only 2 women and 5 children survived. Archaeologists discovered 11 inscribed pottery shards, one bearing the name Ben Yair, potentially linked to the ritual of drawing lots to select those who would carry out the killings and suicides as described by Josephus. Yet archaeology has found very few human remains at Masada and no communal burial pits, raising questions about the legend's precise veracity. Varazia stands as an extraordinary cave city carved into the Erusheti mountain, containing over 6,000 rooms across 13 levels. It was originally entirely hidden, with only a single secret tunnel serving as its sole entrance. This monumental complex was meticulously designed for complete concealment, yet a major earthquake in 1283 broke off a section of the cliff face, exposing approximately 2/3 of the city to the outside. Within its depths, an intricate system of irrigation and drainage supplied clean water to thousands of people, demonstrating hydraulic knowledge far beyond its time. Even the frescoes within the Dormition Church remarkably retain their vibrant colors, enduring centuries of warfare, abandonment, and numerous earthquakes. Dún Aengus is an impressive prehistoric stone fortress situated on a sheer cliff edge approximately 330 feet above the Atlantic Ocean on Innis Mor Island. This unique structure consists of 4 concentric, semicircular stone walls, with the innermost wall reaching a height of 13 feet and a thickness of 20 feet. Remarkably, multi-ton stones are stacked without mortar, allowing the construction to stand resiliently against sea winds and the erosion of time for over 3 millennia. Given its location and unique architecture, some modern theories suggest that Dún Aengus may have once been used for observing significant astronomical phenomena, such as solstices and equinoxes. The Yonaguni structures present a massive sandstone formation, approximately 164 feet tall and 492 feet long, resting 16 to 82 feet beneath the ocean's surface near Yonaguni Island, Japan. This formation displays numerous 90-degree angles, precise straight lines, and distinctly flat surfaces, features rarely observed in natural geological formations of such immense scale. Furthermore, certain sections exhibit clear bilateral symmetry, incorporating large, uniform steps, circular stone columns, and V-shaped grooves suggestive of a drainage system. The entire structure may have remained above sea level more than 10,000 years ago, eventually submerging beneath the ocean after the final ice age. Regarding its origin, scientists remain deeply divided. Geologists generally interpret the formation as natural, while many archaeologists suggest it is the product of a vanished civilization. The Utah petroglyphs represent a collection of thousands of rock carvings and paintings created over more than 10,000 years by various indigenous cultures across the state of Utah. Many of these images were formed by meticulously removing the dark desert varnish from the rock surface to expose a lighter layer beneath, a detailed and durable process remarkably achieved using only rudimentary stone tools. Human figures often display unusual stylized features, presenting large heads, bulging eyes, and no necks, frequently adorned with headdresses or other distinct characteristics deviating from typical human anatomy. Certain petroglyphs exhibit precise alignments with celestial events, such as solstices or equinoxes, indicating a sophisticated understanding of ancient astronomy. Other recurring motifs, including spirals, hands, and stylized human forms, persist for millennia and extend across vast geographical regions, transcending specific cultural boundaries. Niagara Falls formed approximately 12,000 years ago, following the last ice age, and today discharges over 740,000 gallons of water every second. This enormous volume of water is enough to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool in less than 1 second, and its immense force continuously erodes the underlying rock. Consequently, the falls recede upstream by several inches each year due to this erosion, while the rushing water creates a powerful sound. The noise from Niagara Falls can reach up to 90 decibels, which is nearly equivalent to the sound of a jet aircraft taking off. This powerful flow also makes the falls a crucial source of hydroelectric power for both Canada and the United States, despite a rare instance in 1848 when the water flow temporarily ceased due to a partial freeze. The Valley of the Kings served as the burial ground for New Kingdom pharaohs for nearly 500 years, spanning from the 16th to the 11th century BCE. These tombs are carved deep into the limestone mountains, featuring intricate designs with multiple chambers and labyrinthine corridors. They are adorned with thousands of drawings and hieroglyphs, and many tombs contain deep shafts or unfinished rooms whose purposes remain unclear. The ancient techniques for carving, lighting, and ventilating deep within the rock using crude tools are still not fully explained, and many New Kingdom pharaohs' tombs remain undiscovered. Although dozens of tombs have been discovered in the area, most were plundered in antiquity, suggesting that thieves likely knew the precise locations and complex structures to access the buried wealth. Carved directly into sandstone cliffs around 1264 BCE under Pharaoh Ramesses II, the Abu Simbel Temple complex represents a monumental architectural feat. The Great Temple features 4 colossal seated statues, each standing approximately 66 feet tall and carved directly from the mountain face, while the adjacent temple of Nefertari uniquely depicts the queen statue on a scale equal to that of the pharaoh. A remarkable astronomical alignment occurs twice annually, around February 20th and October 20th, when sunlight precisely illuminates 3 of the inner sanctuary's divine statues, leaving only the deity Ptah consistently in shadow. Despite its intricate design and construction, no ancient architectural plans or technical drawings have ever been discovered for Abu Simbel. Moray consists of a complex of massive circular depressions, constructed as concentric agricultural terraces that descend approximately 100 feet deep. Each terrace level is built from stone and compacted earth, featuring a separate drainage system that prevents the structure from ever flooding. This unique design creates a temperature difference of up to 27 degrees Fahrenheit between the highest and lowest levels, fostering distinct microclimates within a single location. However, no Inca texts remain to explain the purpose or construction methods of Moray. further deepening the mystery surrounding this remarkable architectural feat. The Crackus Mound is an artificial truncated cone-shaped earthwork rising approximately 52 feet high with a base diameter of 164 to 197 feet, constructed from clay, gravel, and stone. Inside this mound, a massive oak wood structure arranged in a spoke pattern exists, possibly serving structural stability or holding special ritual significance. The mound's position and orientation precisely link to astronomical phenomena, specifically on Beltane, May 1st, when the sun rises directly over the Wonder Mound as viewed from this site. The construction date of the Crackus Mound remains highly uncertain, potentially ranging from the Neolithic period around 4000 BCE to the Iron Age in the 8th to 6th centuries BCE. Chehelberj, meaning 40 towers or 40 fortresses, in Persian suggests a large and enigmatic architectural complex. If truly real, this structure could have belonged to ancient empires such as the Achaemenid, Hellenistic, Kushan, or Sassanid. Yet clear historical records regarding its construction period are absent. Hypothetical structures of Chehelberj indicate the use of massive, precisely fitted stone blocks or bricks, a construction technique exceeding the presumed technological capabilities of that era. This precision is further observed as some believed structures are aligned with astronomical phenomena, including solstices, equinoxes, or the positions of constellations. Furthermore, any potential writing on these ruins belongs to an undeciphered system, possibly containing information from a lost civilization. Edinburgh Castle stands upon Castle Rock, an extinct volcanic plug formed millions of years ago, creating a nearly impregnable natural defensive site. Humans inhabited Castle Rock as early as the Bronze Age, around 1000 BCE, and the Iron Age around 600 BCE, though its initial purpose remains an archaeological mystery. The castle once housed the Stone of Scone, or Stone of Destiny, the coronation symbol for Scottish kings, believed to be a sacred artifact from Jewish or Celtic legends. Some researchers propose that Edinburgh Castle sits at the intersection of ley lines, invisible energy pathways connecting ancient sacred sites across the globe. Pinara is distinguished by hundreds of tombs carved directly into sheer cliff faces, creating an appearance reminiscent of a giant beehive. The city itself was constructed on a steep, rugged mountainside, prompting questions about the ancient builders' engineering prowess given the challenging terrain. Historically, Pinara held significance as one of the 6 principal cities of the Lycian League, possessing the right to cast 3 votes in the League Council. Legend suggests Pinara originated as the twin city of Xanthos, established when Xanthos became too densely populated. Furthermore, many Lycian inscriptions found throughout Pinara remain only partially deciphered, potentially containing unknown historical and religious information. Some structures within the site are also speculated to have connections with astronomical phenomena. The Mara's salt mines are an ancient extraction system comprising thousands of tiny terrace salt pools constructed from stone and clay, extending across a steep mountain slope. Each salt pool averages about 43 square feet in size and receives water from a natural salty spring flowing from within Mount Kakawine via a sophisticated branching canal system. The Mara's system is believed to originate from pre-Inca times, possibly initiated by the Wari civilization and later expanded by the Incas. Remarkably, this canal system has operated continuously for over 1 millennium without modern technology, yet the principle of evenly distributing water to thousands of individual pools remains unknown. Their advanced construction knowledge is further evidenced by the structure's excellent earthquake resistance, despite its location in the seismically active Andes region. Blue Lake, also called the High Blue Lake, creates a strong impression with its ink-dark blue water and a steady sulfur smell throughout the year. Modern surveys record its most reliable depth at 863 feet, and experts believe the karst structure continues to descend beyond current knowledge. The lake has no inflow or outflow streams, and all water movement depends on pressure inside the underground karst network, forming a rare closed circulation. Local people believe sharp objects should never disturb the surface because the lake connects to sacred rock chambers hidden deep below the ancient mountain base. In 2018, a diver reached 656 feet and still found only a widening dark funnel, making Blue Lake a unique place for photographers seeking the deepest blue in the Caucasus. The Durupanar archaeological site in eastern Turkey, near Mount Ararat, is a natural geological structure, appearing precisely like a boat, measuring approximately 460 to 492 feet in length and 131 to 164 feet in width. This site's symmetrical oval form, tapering at both ends and wider in the middle, remarkably aligns with the biblical description of Noah's Ark, which measured approximately 449 feet. The mainstream scientific community identifies Durupanar as an eroded geological fold resulting from post-earthquake mud flows, yet no internationally recognized physical archaeological evidence has fully refuted the hypothesis of an artificial artifact to date. The Blazaith intaglios are a collection of giant desert figures, formed by removing dark gravel to expose lighter soil beneath. Some of the human figures measure over 160 feet long, becoming fully visible only from an aerial perspective. These ground drawings are estimated to be between 450 and 2,000 years old, with the possibility of even greater antiquity. Their near-pristine preservation over centuries is attributed to the extremely arid climate of the Colorado Desert. The Blythe intaglios were discovered accidentally in 1932 by a pilot flying over the region. As of today, no indigenous records or local legends exist to explain the precise origin or purpose of these enigmatic creations. The Palpa geoglyphs are a collection of colossal figures created by the Paracas culture, spanning from approximately 800 BCE to 200 CE, and later by the early Nazca culture from 100 to 800 CE. Unlike the Nazca lines on flat terrain, these geoglyphs are primarily carved into hillsides, which allows for direct observation from the ground. Many figures depict anthropomorphic beings with large heads and prominent eyes, sometimes appearing to wave, suggesting representations of extraordinary entities. Among these, the renowned Palpa astronaut figure, with its unusual physique, has become a prominent symbol for ancient astronaut theories. Remarkably, these intricate designs have persisted for millennia despite incredibly harsh desert conditions, though their sustainable preservation mechanism remains largely unknown. Sacsayhuaman features massive walls constructed from stones reaching over 27 feet tall and weighing more than 330 US tons, fitted so precisely that not even a sheet of paper can be inserted between them. The largest estimated stone at Sacsayhuaman weighs nearly 400 US tons, and it was transported from quarries many miles away without the aid of wheels or draft animals. These colossal stones are cut into irregular polygonal shapes and interlocked in a zigzag pattern, a design that allows the structure to effectively withstand earthquakes. Construction of Sacsayhuaman began during the 15th century under Emperor Pachacuti, requiring tens of thousands of laborers over several decades to complete. Some researchers suggest that the foundations or construction techniques of Sacsayhuaman may originate from a pre-Inca civilization, citing distinct styles of stonework. Legends of Sacsayhuaman recount that giants or gods assisted in its creation, reflecting the perceived monumental scale that seemingly surpassed the engineering capabilities of the era. The 12-angled stone is a distinctive dark blue diorite block, known for its 12 precisely cut angles which fit perfectly with surrounding blocks without mortar. This remarkable stone forms part of the Hatun Rumiok Palace Wall, a structure built in the 14th century under the reign of Sapa Inca Roca. Its polygonal stone structure provides high earthquake resistance, demonstrating an advanced understanding of seismic engineering for its era. The precise cutting of such an extremely hard material as diorite, using only stone hammers and sand, remains unexplained, as no Incan drawings or records detail its design or construction methods. One prevailing theory suggests the Inca may have possessed knowledge of techniques to soften stone using plant extracts, which would facilitate its intricate shaping. The Lalibela churches consist of 11 structures, uniquely carved downwards from single blocks of volcanic tuff, rather than being built with conventional bricks or stones. Every intricate element, from the roofs and towering columns to the ornate doors and functional drainage systems, is sculpted directly from the continuous bedrock. Estimates suggest that tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of cubic yards of rock were removed during their creation, accomplished entirely by human effort, using only basic hand tools. Remarkably, no architectural documents, blueprints, or technical records from that period exist to describe how these monumental structures were planned or executed. Consequently, some local legends attribute the rapid construction of Lalibela to angels, who are said to have assisted the builders during the night hours. The entire complex is revered as Ethiopia's New Jerusalem, specifically designed to replicate the sacred topography and layout of the biblical holy city. Crop circles, frequently observed in England, often display extremely complex geometric structures, incorporating the golden ratio, fractal patterns, and precise mathematical or astronomical formulas. Within these formations, plant stems typically bend gently at the nodes rather than breaking, with some nodes appearing elongated or swollen as if exposed to heat or an unknown energy. Many of these intricate designs span hundreds of feet and are reported to appear in just a few hours overnight, leaving no discernible traces of human presence or tools. Observers sometimes report unusual lights, sounds, and energy spheres before their appearance, while electronic devices like cameras and phones often malfunction or abruptly lose power within the circles. Furthermore, the phenomenon shows a distinct geographical link to ancient sites like Stonehenge and Avebury, and animals frequently exhibit strange behavior such as fear or avoidance of crop circle areas. The megalithic temple of Hagar Chim, constructed between approximately 3600 and 3000 BCE, stands as an ancient structure predating both the Giza pyramids and Stonehenge. Some stones within the complex weigh up to 22 tons and rise over 16 feet high, having been erected using only prehistoric tools made from stone and bone. The internal structure comprises multiple semicircular rooms arranged symmetrically, forming a distinctive trefoil or kidney-shaped layout. A specific oracle hole at Hagar Chim precisely aligns with the sunrise on the summer solstice, revealing the builder's remarkable astronomical knowledge. Yet no texts or records exist from the civilization that constructed Hagar Chim, and this civilization abruptly vanished around 2500 BCE, without leaving specific traces or explanations. Avdat once served as a pivotal stop on the ancient incense route, connecting Petra to the Mediterranean Sea and facilitating the transport of frankincense and myrrh across the Negev desert. To sustain life in this arid region, the Nabateans engineered an extremely sophisticated irrigation system of dams, reservoirs, and channels, which allowed for the development of agriculture amidst the desert landscape. This ingenuity extended to viticulture, as Avdat produced wine under harsh desert conditions, utilizing advanced terracing and irrigation techniques that remain a subject of research today. The city's stone structures, either carved directly into the cliff faces or meticulously built with local sandstone, attest to the superior Nabatean construction skills. Despite its former status as a major strategic and religious center, the precise functions of several structures within Avdat remain undetermined, prompting ongoing archaeological debate before the city was completely abandoned after the 7th century and never rebuilt. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre is considered the site of Jesus' crucifixion, burial, and resurrection, and is currently managed by 6 Christian denominations. This structure was built in the 4th century by Emperor Constantine on the foundation of a Roman temple intended to erase early Christian traces. Inside the church stands the edicule, a shrine enclosing the Holy Sepulchre, which has been rebuilt multiple times, most recently in 2017. Nevertheless, The actual location of Golgotha and the Holy Sepulchre remains debated, lacking absolute archaeological confirmation after 2 millennia. Beneath the church's foundation lies an unexplored system of caves and ancient structures presenting multiple archaeological layers from various periods. Annually, the Holy Fire ceremony takes place here on Easter, considered a supernatural phenomenon that science cannot explain. The Hellinikon Pyramid, possibly constructed around 2730 BCE, predates Egypt's Djoser Pyramid by approximately 100 years. Its structure employs large limestone blocks assembled in a Cyclopean style without mortar, demonstrating advanced construction techniques for the 3rd millennium BCE. Inside, narrow corridors lead to small rooms, yet no traces of human remains or burial rituals have been discovered within its chambers. Hellinikon is one of several enigmatic structures across Greece, alongside sites like Ligurio and Lerna, suggesting an ancient architectural tradition not yet fully understood. Its isolated location, distant from major population centers or other contemporary sites, leaves its original purpose and builders largely unknown. Thermoluminescence dating of stone samples established its age, significantly revising previous understandings of ancient Greek architectural development timelines. The Montserrat Monastery stands at an elevation of approximately 2,379 feet, built directly into the vertical cliffs of a serrated limestone mountain range. The mountains consist of conglomerate rock with towering, giant, finger-like formations, which resulted from a unique geological process not yet fully explained. Caves within the mountains contain traces of habitation and rituals from the Neolithic period, indicating that this site held spiritual significance long before the presence of Catholicism. According to legend, the Black Madonna statue spontaneously appeared in a cave in the year 880, and the inability to move the statue led to the construction of the monastery at that very spot. Montserrat continuously records numerous strange light phenomena and UFO reports, causing the location to be regarded as a mysterious point of spiritual energy. The Palacio da Regaleira, constructed between 1904 and 1910, showcases Neo-Manueline and Neo-Gothic architecture. This modern estate encodes ancient mystical symbols, reflecting owner Antonio Augusto Carvalho Montero's fascination with alchemy and ancient knowledge systems. Within the grounds, the initiation well descends 90 feet, featuring a 9-story spiral staircase believed to host initiation rituals, reenacting a journey of descent into hell and rebirth. An extensive underground tunnel network connects various caves and wells, forming a sacred labyrinth designed for secret ceremonies. The entire estate functions as a microcosm, its structures symbolizing heaven, earth, and hell. These symbols, linked to the Knights Templar, Freemasonry, and alchemy, create a complex, coded knowledge system that remains incompletely deciphered. On October 13, 1917, tens of thousands of people at Fatima witnessed the miracle of the sun, where the sun reportedly danced, changed colors, and appeared to plunge towards Earth before returning to its position. During this phenomenon, many witnesses also reported their soaked clothes and the ground drying instantly and inexplicably. These events are linked to apparitions of the Virgin Mary to 3 shepherd children that year. Yet prior to these, the children encountered an entity identifying itself as the Angel of Peace, appearing 3 times as a guide from another dimension. The Chapel of the Apparitions stands at the exact location where the Virgin Mary reportedly appeared, establishing itself as the most sacred pilgrimage site within the sanctuary complex. Furthermore, the Basilica of the Most Holy Trinity, inaugurated in 2007, presents a modern architectural marvel and one of the world's largest churches with immense capacity. The Gantija temples on Gozo Island, Malta, were constructed between approximately 3600 and 3000 BCE, making them older than both the Giza pyramids and Stonehenge. Some of the megalithic stones forming the temples reach up to 20 feet in height and weigh over 50 tons, stacked without mortar, relying solely on gravity and interlocking joints. This construction occurred before the advent of metal tools, the wheel, or draft animals, highlighting an astonishing level of prehistoric engineering skill. Inside the temples, archaeological evidence indicates the application of corbelling, a sophisticated architectural method used to create primitive, false domes and enclosed spaces. The name Gantija itself translates to belonging to giants, reflecting local legends about its colossal builders. Monte Alban is constructed on an artificially flattened mountaintop, forming giant terraces without the aid of metal tools or draft animals. The astronomical observatory, known as Building J at Monte Alban, features an arrow shape and is precisely aligned with celestial phenomena. Hundreds of Danzante's stone reliefs depict figures in unusual poses, possibly representing captives, surgical practitioners, or ancient human body maps. The Zapotec people of Monte Alban developed one of the earliest and most complex writing systems in Mesoamerica around 300 BCE, showcasing sophisticated astronomical and mathematical knowledge. This profound understanding enabled them to calculate cosmic cycles and create an accurate calendar system. The abrupt abandonment of Monte Alban between 800 and 900 CE, without signs of disaster or warfare, remains largely unexplained. Rocamadour is a unique religious complex in southwest France, perched precariously on the vertical cliff face of the Alzou Gorge, with structures like churches, monasteries, and chapels carved directly into the rock. These structures are connected by a staircase comprising 216 steps, forming an impressive layout high above the ground. Within the complex, a rare Black Madonna statue is housed, believed to be linked to ancient pre-Christian Earth Mother beliefs. Rocamadour is also associated with the legend of Saint Amador, a hermit whose body was found incorrupt in the year 1166, further cementing the site's spiritual significance. Beyond the complex itself, the surrounding area contains caves with evidence of prehistoric occupation and paintings such as the famous Grotte de Merveille, indicating human presence since ancient times. Teotihuacan was once one of the largest ancient cities in the world, with an estimated population ranging from 125,000 to 250,000 people from the 1st to the 6th century CE.
Teotihuacan's culture was the synthesis of all the skirts of
The city was
Mexico
laid
City.
out in a grid plan,
all of them
with
specifically
structures
proportioned to
precisely
emphasize the
aligned
large scale
to
of the
stars
distinguished
and
lace's unique
geographical points,
ornamentation.
demonstrating
God of the
advanced
rain.
astronomical
You can still
knowledge.
see a snake emerging from the earth, like a
The Pyramid of the Sun stands approximately 213 feet tall, constructed over a natural cave with a tunnel system leading to a central chamber. Notably, this pyramid contains layers of mica originating from Brazil, located over 1,860
Wakan
miles
life and
away,
time as
though its
inherently
purpose
cyclical
remains
bodies,
unclear.
aligning with their cyclic calendar. Except pyramids in Mesoamerica.
Teotihuacan
The pyramids of
lacks
Teotihuacan
clear defensive
feature a
walls,
prominent-
a rare feature for such a powerful urban center of its size, and also left no complete writing system, leaving its true name and many aspects of its builders an enduring mystery. Kuelap sits approximately 3,000 meters high atop a limestone ridge, surrounded by dense cloud forests and the Utcubamba River Valley. Its defensive walls rise up to 65 feet, meticulously constructed from millions of cut limestone blocks without the aid of wheels or modern metal tools. Inside Kuelap, over 400 structures primarily consist of round stone houses with narrow entry passages allowing only one person through to neutralize an enemy's right hand. This compels archaeologists to reconstruct their history, including their astronomical knowledge indicated by the alignment of certain structures solely from physical evidence. Saparang, the ancient capital of the Guj kingdom, stands built upon a large, pyramid-like clay hill. This massive city rises up to 1,000 feet, encompassing hundreds of caves, tunnels, palaces, and temples carved directly into the rock face. Situated at an elevation of about 12,100 feet, Saparang also features a complex network of tunnels, some of which remain undiscovered to this day. Despite its abandonment for nearly 400 years, many murals within Saparang's temples retain their colors and details almost perfectly. Lower architectural layers further indicate Saparang may have been constructed upon the foundations of a civilization even older than Guj. Following the collapse of the Guj kingdom in the 17th century, Saparang's inhabitants vanished abruptly, leaving no clear record of their fate. Perperikon is an ancient city and sanctuary carved directly into a mountain rock, serving as a central religious, political, and economic hub for millennia, with settlement beginning in the 6th millennium BCE. The entire complex, including its palaces and walls, was meticulously carved straight into the monolithic bedrock using ancient, rudimentary tools. Within the sanctuary, a massive circular altar stands over 6.5 feet tall, believed to have been the site of mysterious rituals dedicated to the god Dionysus. Perperikon is also thought to be where prophetic ceremonies occurred, foretelling the fates of figures such as Alexander the Great and Emperor Augustus, utilizing fire and wine as their mediums. Today, many underground sections of Perperikon remain unexcavated, including crypts and subterranean tunnels, potentially harboring undisclosed archaeological secrets. The two quartzite sandstone statues, known as the Colossi of Memnon, stand approximately 60 feet tall and weigh between 700 and 1,000 tons, depicting Pharaoh Amenhotep III seated on his throne, with their stone quarried and transported hundreds of miles away, showcasing incredible ancient Egyptian engineering and labor organization. The northern statue once emitted a distinctive sound at dawn following an earthquake in 27 BC, a phenomenon known as the singing of Memnon, which drew Roman emperors who traveled to witness it. However, when Roman Emperor Septimius Severus repaired cracks in the statue in 199 AD, this mysterious natural acoustic phenomenon ceased permanently. The statues themselves bear numerous inscriptions left by ancient Greek and Roman visitors, serving as evidence of the singing as a legendary marvel witnessed across centuries. In 1891, priest Berenger Saunière at Rennes-le-Château suddenly acquires significant wealth, the origin of his fortune remaining undisclosed. He also faces accusations of disturbing ancient tombstones in the local cemetery, notably the grave of Marie de Nègre de Hapoul, which allegedly contains a hidden code. The Sainte-Marie-Madeleine Church under his care features a rare statue of the demon Asmodeus holding holy water at its entrance, and the Latin inscription Terribilis est locus iste is carved above its door, adding to the enigma. Prevailing theories suggest Saunière discovered evidence pertaining to a Merovingian lineage, directly connecting to Jesus and Mary Magdalene, potentially explaining these profound mysteries. From this unexplained wealth, Saunière constructs the Magdala Tower in Gothic style, designed like a medieval fortress with sweeping views of the entire valley. Bimini Road consists of large, flat, rectangular or polygonal limestone blocks, which are arranged in an almost straight line, stretching approximately 800 yards along the seabed. Some of these blocks measure up to 13 feet long and exhibit circular holes or grooves, features that suggest mortise and tenon joint techniques similar to those found in ancient architecture. Further investigation reveals the Bimini Road has a precise east-west and north-south orientation, a characteristic often observed in deliberately constructed ancient sites. The geological composition of these blocks is not uniform and contains unusual minerals, a finding that raises questions about a completely natural origin. If these formations are indeed artificial structures, they could date back 8,000 to 12,000 years ago, a time frame that predates known civilizations in the Western Hemisphere. Tayuna was constructed around 800 CE, nearly 700 years earlier than Machu Picchu, establishing its profound ancient significance. The city features over 170 stone terraces connecting circular plazas, residential areas, and ceremonial centers, reflecting the Tairona people's complex urban planning. As a religious, political, and economic hub for the Tairona, supporting an estimated population of 2,000 to 8,000 people, Tayuna boasted remarkably advanced sewer and drainage systems. This hydrological sophistication demonstrates a deep understanding of engineering, yet the Tairona left no written language. Consequently, deciphering their history and beliefs relies on symbols and legends, as only an estimated 10 to 20% of Tayuna's area has been excavated, with the remainder still covered by dense jungle. Sego Canyon features rock art from at least 3 distinct cultures, including Barrier Canyon, Fremont, and Ute, with some works spanning over 6,000 years. The ancient Barrier Canyon-style art, potentially dating back 7,000 years, depicts giant, slender, human-like figures often characterized by empty eyes and intricately decorated bodies. These Barrier Canyon depictions are carved or painted directly onto natural sandstone cliffs, yet no evidence of nearby settlements, tools, or daily activities is found. Certain figures are located in high or difficult-to-reach positions on the cliff faces, suggesting a potential connection to ritualistic practices or sacred visions. The resilience of these drawings, enduring millennia despite harsh weather conditions, points to sophisticated techniques and materials that are not yet fully understood. Sego Canyon itself later became a thriving coal mining town in the early 20th century, and now stands as a ghost town marked by mining ruins and a cemetery. The Atlantean warriors of Tula are 4 basalt or sandstone statues standing approximately 15 feet tall, which once served as roof-supporting pillars for the main temple atop Pyramid B. Each warrior statue is not carved from a single block, but assembled from multiple large, intricately carved stone blocks, stacked using a technique that remains not fully explained. This fragmented structure and the statue's roof-supporting function reveal a high level of technical mastery, yet it remains unclear how this was achieved without modern tools. The warriors wear battle attire, including a bird or butterfly helmet and butterfly breastplate, carrying an atlatl, dart bundle, and incense bag, symbols whose ritual or mythological meaning is still being deciphered. Tula, the capital of the Toltec people, was mysteriously and abruptly destroyed in the 12th century, with widespread evidence of burning, though the true cause remains unknown. The name Atlantean itself is controversial as it evokes the mythical continent of Atlantis, despite a lack of scientific evidence to substantiate this connection.
I'm in the center of this massive body of water, the Pacific Ocean.
Nan Madol consists of over 90 artificial islands, constructed from basalt and coral, interconnected by an intricate network of canals. The structures at Nan Madol utilize prismatic basalt stones, some weighing up to 50 tons, which are precisely stacked without the use of mortar. Massive perimeter walls, reaching up to 25 feet in height and 16 feet in thickness, encompass ritual sites, noble residences, and royal tombs.
Why is there so little known about the people that built this?
Nan Madol served as the political and religious core of the Saudeleur dynasty, flourishing from the 13th century until the early 17th century.
Only a tiny fragment.
Local legends from Pompeii recount that twin sorcerers constructed Nan Madol, employing magic to lift and position the massive stones.
Find out more about the people. It's a temple.
Furthermore, sections of Nan Madol's structures lie submerged underwater, suggesting the presence of additional, unexplored constructions on the sea floor.
Must have been some super-powered humans built this, huh?
Well, this area was meant only for the elite.
The western wall constitutes the western support wall for the Temple Mount's foundation, rather than being a direct remnant of the Second Temple itself. Its lowest courses, laid during Herod the Great's era, incorporate some of the largest single stones ever used in ancient architecture, with certain blocks weighing up to 570 tons. These massive stones are fitted with extraordinary precision, leaving almost no perceptible gaps, a remarkable engineering feat that modern technology still cannot fully explain. Further excavations have uncovered foundational layers predating Herod's construction, suggesting the site may have held sacred significance for thousands of years. Intriguingly, certain ancient blocks display unidentified marks and symbols, prompting questions about potential hidden messages yet to be deciphered. The Karnak complex in France stands as one of the world's largest prehistoric stone sites, extending across hundreds of acres. It features over 3,000 menhir stones erected in precise alignments, forming rows that stretch for miles across the landscape. This monumental site was constructed from approximately 4500 BCE to 2000 BCE, predating both Stonehenge and the Egyptian pyramids. Some of these menhirs reach heights of 13 feet and weigh tens of tons, having been raised using only basic tools of the Neolithic period. The stone rows of Karnak exhibit remarkably precise arrangements, potentially correlating with astronomical phenomena such as solstices and equinoxes. To this day, the exact purpose and construction techniques of the structures at Karnak remain an unsolved mystery. The Rakotsbrücke was constructed around 1860, built entirely for aesthetic purposes rather than practical passage. Its reflection across the still surface of Rakotsi Lake forms a nearly perfect circle. The primary material consists of basalt stone, shaped to resemble natural, sharp rock columns and skillfully arranged like an intricate sculpture. This structure is commonly known as Devil's Bridge, a name linked to ancient legends suggesting only supernatural forces could help build such extraordinary structures. Achieving its flawlessly precise reflection required advanced calculations in geometry and optics from the 19th century, an engineering feat that allowed this delicate yet impractical bridge to endure robustly for over 160 years amidst the wild natural landscape. La Venta, an Olmec ceremonial center, developed from about 900 to 400 BCE on a natural island amid swamps in Tabasco, Mexico. The La Venta Pyramid, a unique truncated cone built from about 100,000 cubic meters of compressed earth, may have mimicked a sacred volcano. 4 colossal heads were carved from basalt monoliths weighing tens of tons, displaying clear facial features and distinctive helmets. An underground drainage system, assembled from large basalt blocks, demonstrates sophisticated hydraulic engineering from the pre-classic period. Many artifacts were deliberately shattered or buried, and the ceremonial complex was aligned on an 8-degree shifted north-south axis, reflecting unexplained ritualistic actions or astronomical knowledge of that era. Lamanai, whose name translates to submerged crocodile in Itzar Maya, features the crocodile as a central symbol throughout the site. This area boasts a continuous occupation history spanning over 3,000 years, from approximately 1500 BCE to the 17th century CE. The site also features colossal limestone masks, reaching 13 feet in height, intricately carved with deities and crocodile motifs. Currently, the majority of the Lamanai archaeological zone remains hidden beneath the dense jungle, awaiting full excavation. Tiwanaku, perched at approximately 12,630 feet on the Altiplano near Lake Titicaca, stands as one of the world's highest ancient ceremonial and urban centers. Its architectural marvels feature numerous stone blocks cut with such precision that a knife blade cannot be inserted between their mortarless joints. Some of these colossal stones, weighing over 220,000 pounds, were transported hundreds of miles from distant quarries without the aid of wheels or large draft animals. Furthermore, these massive blocks are often linked by I or H-shaped metal clamps, showcasing sophisticated, prehistoric stone joining techniques. Many key structures within Tiwanaku are also precisely aligned with solstices and significant astronomical events, revealing an unexpected level of astronomical knowledge for its archaeological period. The Xiaoshui Buddha is a colossal Buddha statue carved directly into a cliff face, yet it remains largely submerged beneath a river or reservoir for much of the time. Depending on water levels, only the head, shoulders, or part of the torso sometimes emerge, with the rest remaining hidden beneath the flow. And the statue is typically rediscovered only during unusually low water due to drought or reservoir regulation changes. The extensive scale of the carving, executed in consistently wet or submerged conditions, posed extraordinary technical challenges for ancient technology. Dara is an ancient Byzantine fortress city constructed in the early 6th century by Emperor Anastasius III to counter the Sassanid Empire. Its city walls rise up to 33 feet high and 10 feet wide, forming a defensive system described as an impenetrable fortress. Beneath the surface, this city features a remarkable underground system, where the Great Underground Cistern possesses vaulted architecture reminiscent of a cathedral, and holds over 3.5 million cubic feet of water. Additionally, Dara's City of the Dead is an expansive subterranean necropolis with thousands of graves and catacombs where many bodies are mysteriously stacked. Remarkably, Dara's underground architecture achieves high precision without technical drawings or modern surveying technology, and much of this system remains undiscovered or unmapped. Glastonbury Abbey was once among England's largest and most powerful Benedictine monasteries before its dissolution in the year 1539. Within its grounds, the remains of King Arthur and Queen Guinevere were reportedly unearthed in the year 1191, alongside a cross inscribed with "Here lies interred King Arthur in the Isle of Avalon." Dominating the landscape, St. Michael's Tower, atop Glastonbury Tor, stands as the remnant of a 14th century church, which an earthquake subsequently destroyed. This prominent hill also features mysterious spiral terraces that encircle its slopes, potentially serving as an ancient ritual labyrinth, an astronomical observatory, or agricultural terraces. Furthermore, a local spring, known as the Blood Spring of the Dragon, exhibits a distinctive red hue due to high iron content, believed to flow from the burial site of the Holy Grail and possess healing properties. The Crooked Forest contains approximately 400 pine trees, all uniformly bent into distinct J or C shapes. The bend in these pines begins at a low height, only about 8 to 20 inches from the ground. Then the trunk grows straight upward, with all trees consistently curving towards the north. This unusual bending only affects pine trees, while other tree species or adjacent pines grow normally straight, and no hypotheses convincingly explain the reason or technique behind this phenomenon. There are no historical documents or evidence recording who bent the trees, how it was done, or for what purpose. Mycenae is characterized by its imposing cyclopean walls constructed from enormous multi-ton limestone blocks stacked without mortar, leading ancient peoples to believe only giants could have built them. Within the city, beehive tombs, known as tholos, display self-supporting vaulted roofs made of progressively smaller stone blocks, and many contain vast treasures of gold, silver, bronze, and precious gems, reflecting an unexplained wealth for that era. An advanced underground water system, complete with cisterns and pipes, further demonstrates Mycenae's superior hydrological engineering, designed to ensure clean water supply during sieges. Orlovi Skali is a rock sanctuary located in the Rotop Mountains, featuring approximately 100 to 150 trapezoidal niches meticulously carved into its steep granite cliffs. These carved niches exhibit relatively uniform dimensions, typically measuring about 2.5 to 3 feet high and 12 to 16 inches wide at the base, narrowing to 6 to 8 inches at the top. Archaeological evidence dates Orlovi Skali to the Iron Age, specifically between the 8th and 6th centuries BCE, attributing its creation to the ancient Thracian civilization. Poenari Castle sits atop Setetsuia Peak in the Carpathian Mountains, located approximately 2,600 feet above the Argeș River Valley and accessible only by climbing 1,480 steep stone steps. Initially constructed in the 13th century with a main watchtower and some defensive walls, the fortress was later expanded by Vlad III Dracula with 5 watchtowers and fortified ramparts. Some theories propose that Poenari's construction site may be connected to natural energy points or served ancient ritualistic purposes. Rosslyn Chapel was founded in 1446 by William Sinclair, the 3rd Earl of Orkney, originally serving as a collegiate church for family prayers. Intricate carvings within the chapel depict images of corn and aloe, plants native to the Americas, appearing before Columbus's voyage in 1492. Numerous depictions of the Green Man, an ancient pagan symbol representing rebirth, also feature prominently within a Christian chapel. The apprentice pillar, a striking architectural feature, displays an elaborate spiral design and is associated with a legend of a talented apprentice. Many symbols throughout the chapel are believed to be connected to the Knights Templar and Freemasons, suggesting links to ancient secret societies. The Great Pyramid of Cholula stands as the world's largest pyramid by volume, encompassing an estimated 4.45 million cubic meters. Its base measures approximately 1,476 feet by 1,476 feet, rising to a height of about 216 feet. This monumental structure was built using adobe bricks and compacted earth, then finished with plaster and vibrant murals. The Sumela Monastery perches precariously on a sheer cliff face at an elevation of nearly 4,000 feet within the Pontic Mountains, carved directly into the rock itself. Legend attributes the monastery's 4th century founding to 2 Athenian monks, who reportedly dreamt of a miraculous icon in a nearby cave. A sacred spring flows from the rock inside the monastery, believed to possess healing properties and never running dry for millennia. The main rock church and its chapels display countless vivid frescoes depicting biblical narratives, though many aspects of their symbolism remain undeciphered. Hypotheses suggest the cliff carving and construction techniques at Sumerla remain a major mystery, implying capabilities for material transport and fixation beyond ancient understanding. Woodhenge was constructed around 2500 BCE, contemporaneous with the main phase of Stonehenge. This structure comprises 6 concentric oval rings of post holes, which once held 168 massive wooden posts up to 25 feet tall, with the central post reaching 5 feet in diameter. The discovery of decapitated child remains at the monument center suggests the possibility of sacrificial rituals taking place at this site. After a period of use, archaeological findings suggest Woodhenge was intentionally dismantled. The Plain of Jars in Zhengkuang province features thousands of colossal stone jars carved from sandstone, limestone, granite, and conglomerate. These jars, reaching up to 10 feet tall and weighing 20 tons, are sculpted from solid rock and distributed across hundreds of sites. Many jars contain human remains, pottery, and metal objects, suggesting funeral rites from the Iron Age, spanning from 500 BCE to 500 CE. Yet no carving tools have been discovered near the jars or quarries, despite the exceptionally complex techniques required to carve and transport such large stone blocks for that era. The 3 prehistoric mounds, known as Devil's Humps, are ancient bell barrow structures dating from approximately 2500 BCE to 1500 BCE and located on the Kingly Vale hillside in West Sussex. The largest of these mounds measures about 164 feet in diameter and rises up to 16 feet in height, comprising a central mound, a flat berm, a surrounding ditch, and an outer bank. The symmetrical construction of these mounds, achieved with only crude tools like shovels made from bone and wood, represents an engineering feat whose methods remain unexplained. Ladakh's magnetic hill creates a unique optical illusion, making vehicles appear to roll uphill even when their engines are off, due to a particular arrangement of terrain and the horizon. This phenomenon is classified as a type of gravity hill, where perspective and misleading reference points deceive the perception of the actual slope. Furthermore, some pilots and travelers have reported aviation equipment interference or a sensation of being pulled downwards when flying over the area. Despite scientific explanations for this illusion, many locals and visitors still believe in the presence of an invisible force field or mysterious energy at this location. The area lacks specific ancient records mentioning a pulling force, though magnetic hill is sometimes linked to ley lines, hypothetical terrestrial energy pathways considered sacred by ancient cultures. The Black Forest is a mountain range and dense forest located in southwest Germany, characterized by conifer trees so thick that sunlight struggles to penetrate the forest floor. Within this region, Feldberg Peak stands as the highest point of the forest, alongside notable natural lakes such as Titisee and Mummelsee. The area also contains numerous ancient trails, some dating back to Roman times or even earlier, yet their original purpose remains unknown. The Black Forest is thought to sit upon a network of ancient energy lines, or ley lines, which prehistoric civilizations may have utilized for spiritual purposes. Archaeologists have uncovered large stone structures arranged in an inexplicable manner within remote sections of the forest, reinforcing these theories. Furthermore, certain parts of the Black Forest are renowned for unusual acoustic phenomena, including unidentifiable whispers or unexplained musical sounds. The archaeological site of San Agustin features over 500 megalithic statues, some reaching more than 16 feet in height, meticulously carved from multi-ton volcanic rock. These impressive figures often portray humans, animals, or striking human-animal hybrids, distinguished by sharp fangs and large, round eyes. San Agustin served as an ancient burial ground, incorporating earthen tumuli, stone sarcophagi, and elaborate hypogea, all strategically positioned alongside these monumental sculptures. Certain statues also display complex mystical symbols, prompting archaeologists to theorize about potential supernatural influences or undeciphered cosmic meanings. This unique culture thrived in isolation within the southern Colombian Andes, yet it notably lacked a written language to document its history. Sedona is distinctive for its colossal red sandstone mountains, which formed over millions of years of erosion and acquire their characteristic red color from high iron oxide content. The region is also known for its vortex sites, energy swirls perceived to emanate from within the Earth, though they remain scientifically unproven. Indigenous peoples such as the Sinagua, Hopi, and Yavapai Apache inhabited Sedona thousands of years ago, leaving behind cliff dwellings, pottery, and ancient rock carvings and paintings. These ancient petroglyphs and pictographs throughout the Sedona area depict strange creatures, spiritual symbols, and astronomical phenomena that remain undeciphered. Sedona is believed to lie upon a global energy grid of ley lines, which many ancient civilizations may have utilized to precisely position their sacred structures. The location is also considered one of the leading UFO hotspots in the United States, with hundreds of reports of unexplained flying objects and unusual lights occurring over many decades. The Colossal stones, a megalithic monument complex, were constructed over 4,500 years ago, dating from the Neolithic period to the early Bronze Age. This structure comprises about 50 large gneiss stones, forming a circle around a central stone reaching 15.7 feet in height. 4 additional rows of stones radiate in cardinal directions from the central circle, precisely aligned with the astronomical event known as the Great Northern Lunar Standstill. This rare phenomenon occurs once every 18.6 years as the moon appears to skim between 2 mountain peaks on the horizon. Prehistoric peoples transported and erected these stones, weighing up to 30 tons, without the aid of wheels or modern lifting tools. The monument was subsequently abandoned around 800 BC, becoming buried beneath a layer of peat until its re-excavation in the 19th century. Loch Ness holds the distinction as the largest lake by water volume in the entire British Isles, containing a substantial amount of fresh water, more than all lakes in England and Wales combined. Reaching an impressive depth of up to 755 feet, the lake ranks among Europe's deepest bodies of water, a characteristic notably shaped by its location on the Great Glen Fault. The lake's water exhibits a distinct dark brown color due to its very high natural peat content, a factor that significantly reduces underwater visibility to only a few yards. The earliest written record of a mysterious water monster at Loch Ness dates back to 565 AD, documented in the book Life of St. Columba. Today, a popular theory circulates that this enigmatic creature, often referred to as Nessie, could be a surviving descendant of the ancient marine reptile, the plesiosaur. Monte Ducote is a megalithic step platform measuring approximately 118 feet by 144 feet and standing about 33 feet high, with a ramp leading up to a stone altar on its summit. This monument underwent two distinct construction phases, beginning around 4000 to 3600 BCE by the early Ossuary culture. The platform was then expanded between 3000 and 2500 BCE, associated with the late Ossuary or Abialzu Filigosa cultures. Monte Ducote's structure bears striking similarities to the ziggurats of Mesopotamia, despite being built thousands of miles away with no evidence of direct cultural links. Some individual stones used in its construction weigh over 30 tons, requiring prehistoric people to move and install them without modern machinery. Bradbury Rings stands as an Iron Age hill fort, potentially dating from the 4th to the 1st century before Common Era. This structure features up to 7 earthen ramparts and 6 hand-dug ditches, establishing it as one of the most complex and massive prehistoric defensive constructions in Britain. The creation of such a vast volume of earth and stone without modern tools remains a mystery regarding Iron Age engineering prowess. However, archaeological excavations have revealed few signs of continuous habitation within its confines, suggesting the site may have been used solely for ritual or specialized purposes. Some entrances at Bradbury Rings further exhibit intricate designs, possibly serving ceremonial functions or controlling access, rather than purely defensive roles. Ultimately, Bradbury Rings was abandoned before the Roman arrival without any traces of destruction, which prompts questions about the reasons for its decline and desertion. Gordium, capital of the Iron Age Phrygian kingdom, features hundreds of artificial burial mounds, with the Midas Mound being one of the largest in the ancient world. Standing 174 feet high and 984 feet in diameter, the Midas Mound contains a lavish wooden burial chamber, though its occupant's identity is not definitively confirmed as King Midas. Despite widespread archaeological findings, the ancient Phrygian language remains largely undeciphered, impeding a full understanding of the civilization's broad cultural links and its actual trade routes with regions like Greece, Assyria, and Egypt. ancient structures on Hill of Tara date from approximately 3000 BC, marking their origins in the Neolithic period. Building these mounds and rings required a colossal effort to move millions of tons of earth, a task accomplished using only rudimentary tools. Some constructions here exhibit precise alignments with the solstices and equinoxes, showcasing the early builders' detailed observation of celestial phenomena. For thousands of years, Hill of Tara served as the primary political and religious center where the High Kings of Ireland were crowned. Prominently located at this site is the Stone of Destiny, or Lia Fail, which is fabled to emit a sound when a legitimate king touches it. Cuicuilco is one of the oldest urban centers in Mesoamerica, developing from approximately 800 BCE to 150 CE with a population of tens of thousands. The city featured a complex irrigation system, including canals and dams drawing water from the nearby Lake Xochimilco, and it housed the circular pyramid Gran Basamento, one of the few circular structures in Mesoamerica built from earth and stone. However, Cuicuilco was completely buried under a layer of lava and ash from the Xitla volcano, reaching up to 33 feet deep, leaving most of its remains unexcavated to this day. Some evidence indicates that residents may have begun to abandon the city before the volcanic eruption occurred. The post-disaster migration of the Cuicuilco people is believed to have significantly contributed to the rapid formation and development of Teotihuacan. Tinkin's Wood is a megalithic burial chamber constructed during the Neolithic period, dating back approximately between 3800 and 3000 BCE, representing an enduring structure from ancient times. Its massive capstone weighs about 40 tons, stretching 24 feet in length, 14 feet in width, and nearly 3 feet thick, making it one of the largest in the United Kingdom. This immense stone rests upon 9 upright support slabs, a feat accomplished without the aid of modern technologies such as the wheel or metal tools. Excavations in 1914 revealed the remains of at least 50 individuals inside the tomb, along with various pottery fragments and flint tools. This enduring structure has remained standing for nearly 6,000 years without any recorded history, prompting questions about ancient engineering capabilities and societal organization. The Almendra stone circle dates back to the Neolithic period, constructed between 6000 BCE and 3000 BCE, making it older than Stonehenge. The site comprises around 95 surviving menhirs, some of which stand over 10 feet tall and weigh several tons. These menhirs are arranged in elliptical or egg shapes, reflecting multiple phases of expansion and modification over more than 3,000 years. Some of these massive stones feature intricate carvings depicting symbols such as the sun, the moon, spirals, and other marks that remain undeciphered. The entire structure demonstrates a complex astronomical orientation, particularly in its relation to the solstices and equinoxes, with its earliest phase around 6000 BCE beginning as a small, horseshoe-shaped stone circle. Hundreds of stone spheres dot the Diquís Delta in Costa Rica, crafted by the Diquís culture between approximately 200 BCE and 1500 CE. Some of these massive stone orbs measure over 8 feet in diameter and weigh up to 15 tons, primarily fashioned from granodiorite quarried dozens of miles away. However, the complete absence of writing, symbols, or carvings on the spheres themselves or at their discovery locations means their ultimate purpose remains entirely enigmatic. The current Hohenzollern Castle, constructed from 1846 to 1867, stands as a romantic neo-Gothic masterpiece initiated by King Frederick William IV of Prussia. This structure is the third castle to occupy this strategic site, following the destruction of two earlier castles in 1423 and the early 19th century, respectively. Perched atop the majestic Hohenzollern Mountain, at an elevation of 2,805 feet above sea level, the castle offers expansive views across the entire Swabian Jura region. Furthermore, legends speak of an unexplored network of underground tunnels beneath the castle, with some researchers speculating its architecture and placement might align with constellations or astronomical events like solstices. Gilgal Rephaim is an ancient megalithic structure built during the early Bronze Age, predating both the Giza pyramids and Stonehenge by centuries. The site comprises at least 4 to 5 concentric circles of basalt stones, with the largest outer ring measuring approximately 155 meters in diameter. An estimated 37,500 tons of basalt were transported to construct this monument, including a central cairn that stands 4.5 meters high and accounts for over 20,000 tons. The names Gilgal Rephaim and Rujim el-Hiri themselves connect to ancient myths of a race of giants or spirits mentioned in biblical texts. Perched at an elevation of about 10,003 feet in the Andes, Choqquequirao overlooks the Apurimac River Valley from a mountain spur, with over 60% of its area still covered by dense jungle and awaiting exploration. Within its terraced architecture, white stone llama carvings adorn various platforms, becoming distinctly visible only from specific vantage points or when viewed from above. Choqquequirao's structures exhibit exceptional stone masonry, where individual stones are fitted so precisely that a knife blade cannot be inserted between them, a technique that provides significant earthquake resistance without the use of mortar. Many architectural elements throughout Choqquequirao are deliberately aligned with the solstices and various astronomical events, indicating a potential role as a sophisticated ancient observatory. Dunata Castle stands dramatically on a sandstone headland, rising approximately 164 feet above sea level, with steep cliffs and the sea on 3 sides, making access exceptionally challenging only via a winding path and narrow staircase. Archaeological evidence confirms settlement in the area from the Iron Age or earlier, indicating a Pictish presence. Yet the initial purpose and precise structure of these earliest occupations remain a significant mystery. The ancient Gaelic name Dún Fotha reflects Dunata's political and spiritual importance to ancient kingdoms, and its isolated, elevated position supports the hypothesis that it served as an ancient astronomical observation point or a site for religious rituals. Geophysical surveys further indicate the potential existence of unexcavated underground structures or ancient foundations beneath the visible ruins. Historically, Dunata Castle is most renowned for successfully protecting the Scottish crown jewels from Oliver Cromwell's army during the 17th century. Poveglia, a small island located in the Venetian lagoon, possesses soil uniquely composed of human ash and bones, a direct result of mass burials during plague epidemics. From the 14th to the 17th centuries, this island functioned as a quarantine station and a burial ground for hundreds of thousands of plague victims, establishing it as one of the world's largest mass cemeteries. Between 1922 and 1968, Poveglia served as a mental hospital where numerous allegations of performing illegal lobotomies and conducting brutal experiments on patients emerged. The hospital director reportedly committed suicide by leaping from the bell tower, purportedly driven by haunting spirits, though the actual cause of his death remains officially undetermined. Despite its proximity to Venice, every redevelopment project attempted on Poveglia has mysteriously failed, contributing to a widespread belief that the island is cursed. Tamgali petroglyphs comprises over 5,000 rock carvings etched into sandstone cliffs, located across 48 sites within Kazakhstan's Chu-Ili Mountains. These intricate images date from the Bronze Age, around 3000 BCE, to the Turkic period, from the 6th to 14th century CE, signifying over 3 millennia of continuous ritual use. Notably, Bronze Age carvings include sun-headed figures with radiant halos, representing mystic symbols whose meanings are still undeciphered. Artisans created these precise figures by pecking, rubbing, and scraping hard rock, achieving high detail with only crude ancient tools. Ani once served as the capital of the Bagratid Kingdom of Armenia during the 10th and 11th centuries, earning the title City of 1001 Churches. Its double city wall system, reaching heights of up to 65 feet and thicknesses of up to 26 feet, followed the rugged terrain, creating a nearly impregnable fortress. Beneath Ani lies an extensive network of underground tunnels and caves, much of which remains largely unexplored or fully mapped. Unique stone carving and construction techniques visible throughout the city suggest a lost craftsmanship, with many repeated symbols and inscriptions still undeciphered in their meaning and origin. The Valley of the Monoliths in Indonesia's Bada Valley contains hundreds of statues carved from granite or volcanic stone, standing over 13 feet tall, with minimalist and expressionless faces. Alongside these are giant, hollowed Kalamba stone vats, complete with lids and several yards in diameter, whose specific function as coffins, ritual baths, or other purposes remains undefined. No reliable documents, writings, or legends record the origin and purpose of these monuments, and the chronology of the complex is intensely debated, spanning from around 1000 BCE to the 16th century CE, with inconsistent results from various dating methods. The elaborately crafted stones, weighing many tons, were transported to their current locations without any detected evidence of metal tools or advanced technology. The culture responsible for creating these megalithic monuments has vanished, leaving no significant residential traces, historical documents, or clear migratory evidence. Olympos was established around the 4th century BC, serving as a significant city of the ancient Lycian League. By the 1st century BC, it transformed into a pirate center under Xenocrates' leadership, even resisting the Roman Empire. Nearby Olympos lies the Chimera Flame, a natural phenomenon where underground gas vents have burned continuously for thousands of years. This unique flame became the inspiration for the fire-breathing chimera monster in Greek mythology. Archaeologists have also discovered traces of a temple dedicated to Hephaestus, the god of fire and blacksmiths, near the Chimera Flame. The necropolis system of Olympos features numerous sarcophagi and intricately carved stone tombs, with some still awaiting excavation. Malinalco serves as an Aztec ceremonial and military center constructed from approximately 1500 to 1521 on the slopes of Cerro de los Ídolos. The most prominent feature of the site is the Cuauhtli Temple, the only structure in all of Mesoamerica carved entirely from the mountain's living bedrock. Its entrance is shaped like the gaping mouth of a giant serpent, symbolizing the journey into the underworld and the process of spiritual rebirth. Inside, a circular chamber contains seating platforms in the form of eagles and jaguars, alongside a central altar shaped like a serpent's head, which once held the hearts of sacrificial victims. The impressive monolithic carving technique at Malinalco, accomplished solely with basic stone and wood tools, continues to challenge modern scientific understanding. This site is believed to have been unfinished when the Spanish arrived, raising questions about whether the interruption was due to conquest or a deeper religious reason. The Meroe Pyramids complex features over 200 pyramids, a number exceeding even that of ancient Egypt. These distinctive structures stand from 20 to 100 feet tall, exhibiting narrow, much steeper slopes compared to the pyramids of Egypt. At the base of each Meroe pyramid, a small temple faces eastward, displaying reliefs that depict the king or queen performing offering ceremonies. The Kush kingdom at Meroe was a major iron smelting center, earning it the moniker Ancient Africa's Detroit, and its Kandaki queens are depicted as powerful warriors, a rare sight in many ancient civilizations. However, the Meroitic script remains undeciphered, leaving much of their culture and deeply held beliefs shrouded in mystery. Mount Shasta stands as a dormant stratovolcano, rising approximately 14,179 feet, making it the second highest peak in the Cascade Range. Its distinctive form arises from multiple overlapping volcanic cones, which create an appearance often described as two mountains in one, and small glaciers still persist on its slopes. For indigenous American peoples like the Wintu, Shasta, Karuk, and Modoc tribes, Mount Shasta is a sacred site, believed to house their creator gods. Legends further recount a subterranean city named Telos within the mountain, inhabited by an ancient Lemurian civilization possessing advanced technology and wisdom. Alays Stones comprises 59 giant sandstone blocks, arranged in the distinctive shape of a ship, spanning 220 feet long and 62 feet wide on a hilltop overlooking the Baltic Sea. The largest individual stone within this formation weighs up to 5 tons, with 2 more substantial pointed stones, marking the bow and stern of the ancient vessel. The exact age of Ael's stones remains a subject of debate among researchers, with theories ranging from the Viking Age, between 500 and 1000 Common Era, to a much older origin in the Bronze Age, around 1400 before Common Era. Adding to its intrigue, the stones are precisely aligned with the sunrise and sunset points during both the winter and summer solstices. The Karagia site features a group of 7 anthropomorphic sarcophagi, each standing approximately 8 feet tall on a narrow cliff ledge hundreds of feet above the Utcubamba Valley in Peru. These sarcophagi were crafted from a mixture of clay, plant fibers, and crushed stone over a wooden or bamboo frame, then plastered, painted, and adorned with geometric and animal motifs by the Chachapoyas culture during the 15th century. A significant enigma surrounds their placement, as no traces of scaffolding, pulleys, or other transport tools exist to explain how these massive structures were lifted to such an inaccessible location. All 7 figures stand oriented in a single direction, looking out over the valley below. The ancient city of Alatri features remarkable cyclopean masonry, where massive polygonal stones are fitted so precisely without mortar that not even a blade can be inserted between them. Many individual stones within these walls weigh between 110,000 and 154,000 pounds, stacked with incredible precision despite the complete absence of modern construction machinery. Furthermore, massive lintel stones spanning high gateways also weigh tens of thousands of pounds, positioned at elevations that continue to puzzle engineers and historians. Enduring for millennia, Alatri's walls have withstood powerful earthquakes and severe weather conditions, remaining almost entirely intact, a construction technique also seen in ancient sites such as Ollantaytambo and Sacsayhuaman in Peru, as well as certain Greek structures. Silbury Hill stands approximately 130 feet high with a base diameter of 548 feet, nearly matching the height of the smallest Giza pyramid. Built around 2400 to 2300 BCE, during the late Neolithic period, Silbury Hill required moving an estimated 915,584 cubic yards of earth and chalk for its construction. Its internal structure consists of a gravel core, encased by compacted layers of earth, chalk, and peat, forming a distinctive, flat-topped, conical shape. Unusually for prehistoric mounds of its era, no human burials or artifacts have been discovered within Silbury Hill. Devil's Tower is a unique volcanic intrusion formed from a mass of magma that cooled 60 to 50 million years ago. This structure rises 869 feet above the Wyoming plains, distinctive for its millions of colossal vertical basalt columns. These columns often exhibit unusually regular hexagonal or pentagonal cross-sections, a result of columnar jointing as the magma cooled slowly and created vertical cracks. Uniquely, there are no associated signs of a volcanic crater or cone, rendering this intrusive formation geologically isolated and not fully explained. Cabal Speen is a unique outdoor site with thousands of linga and yoni symbols carved directly into the bedrock of the stung Cabal Speen riverbed. These Hindu sculptures extend for hundreds of yards along the river, depicting deities such as Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, alongside various animals like frogs and oxen. The Cabal Speen complex was created between the 11th and 13th centuries by Brahmin hermits under the reigns of kings Adityavarman II and Suryavarman I. The sophisticated carving technique, executed within a fast-flowing river, often submerged by water during the rainy season, remains not fully explained to this day. Ancient beliefs held that water flowing over the linga would sanctify the stream, thereby bringing fertility to the lands of the Angkor capital. These carvings are clearly visible only during the dry season, when water levels recede as they become covered by water in the rainy season, creating a rare, hidden revealed characteristic for a religious structure. The Ring of Brodgar is an ancient stone circle with a perfect diameter of approximately 341 feet, ranking among the largest in Britain. This monument was constructed around 2500 to 2000 BCE, potentially contemporary with or even predating Stonehenge. The circle originally consisted of about 60 megalithic stones, but today only 27 remain standing, with many of these weighing tons. Surrounding the structure is a ditch 10 feet deep and 30 feet wide, carved directly from solid sandstone using rudimentary tools. The Ring of Brodgar is situated on a narrow strip of land between two large freshwater lakes, the Loch of Stennis and the Loch of Hooray. Gamsutl is an ancient village thousands of years old of the Avar people, perched precariously on a rocky cliff in Dagestan. Its homes are built directly into the mountainside, using the natural rock itself for foundations and walls, creating a structure that almost merges with the surrounding terrain. Featuring terraced architecture stacked along the slope, the village was constructed by hand using local stone and wood, without the need for modern tools. Its rugged location and robust structure made Gamsutl a natural defensive fortress, successfully repelling invasions